Atlanta Public Schools is home to approximately 55,000 children, 5,000 employees.
We have 60-plus traditional schools, along with several charter and partner schools within our district that we support.
We're an urban district, and we're in Atlanta, and Atlanta influences everything. Our district is the cornerstone of innovation. We are the district that you look to see what kind of practices we're implementing, what are we focused on, and what does equity look like in our district.
We have students of all needs. We have a great deal of diversity here in the district. In terms of our mission and our values, our mission is to prepare our students to be college and career ready. Ultimately, we want them to be successful after they leave the schoolhouse and far into life.
COVID caused educators to rethink how we deliver instruction, the tools that we use.
In particular, here in Atlanta Public Schools, it really shined a light and put a focus on making sure that all of our students were armed with one-to-one devices, that our teachers were armed with everything they needed as far as tools and resources and the knowledge to be successful in making sure that they could successfully teach students from anywhere.
Getting the kids to engage regularly and consistently in a virtual setting was really difficult, especially when they're at home and they have other dynamics going on that factored into whether or not they could consistently just engage.
Coming back to the classroom after COVID, those challenges are very unique. A lot of social emotional issues kind of came out of the pandemic.
To come back into the classroom and have any direct contact with instructor, with teachers, was a bit of a challenge early on.
The gap between where they were when they left and who they were when they came back to schools. And so we noticed that there were some significant learning gaps that needed to be addressed.
So personalized learning was one of those things that we felt if we can meet that kindergartner that went out and came back as a second grader. They may not know how to write their name at this point, but at second grade, you're expected to be able to decipher letters and be able to start reading. So you've got this big chasm of learning goals for students that our teachers are going to have to try to set for each individualized student. So that teaching has to look very, very different in that you've got to see and assess where that student is and create differentiated path, paces, and products for students so that we can meet them where they are and get them to where they need to be academically.
I have been, over the years, trying to figure out how to move from whole group because it just doesn't get to everyone. Especially, I'm thinking of two students in particular. I thought, it's like, man, they're really not getting it. They really don't care about getting it. And then when I break them out into whole groups and we start talking one-on-one, I find that is not the case at all. Like I have more conversations with them and we can explore a little more and then lead those students into the content. It's really exciting. So I think it's going to lead to student success.
All of our students in the classroom are not necessarily all on the same level, so that means to me breaking up the instruction to meet where they are.
More than just teaching and learning, we realized that we needed a deeper lens into an individualized experience to meet our students' needs. Students have shown us that ultimately, the way in which we approached school in the past, the paper and pencil way of doing school, just simply doesn't always meet their needs.
Personalized learning is personalizing instruction. I don't like to define a term with a term, but that's exactly what it is. It is going beyond differentiating, but sort of individualizing instruction for the needs of each child. And while the term is new to us, the components within it are not new to us. And that's why we are so excited about implementing it and getting district support to kind of support and improve what we've been doing for quite a while.
The personalization, the one-to-one, the individualized experience or intimate journey for learning that is unique to each individual. I think about personalized learning in the space of crafting and shaping a learning experience for every individual scholar that we serve. It's the redefining, the redefinition, and the reimagining and the healthy disruption of the classroom. It's a shared learning experience from the lens of a teacher where co-creation, a word that I probably say a lot, but the co-creation of that experience happens so that the teacher as the facilitator does not lose his or her power, but they actually command more.
So some changes that have happened in the classroom through personalized learning. I feel like in terms of the kids, they have that opportunity to make different products. They have that opportunity. If I'm interested in art, then I can draw it, I can label. If I'm interested in writing, I can write an essay. And if I'm interested in making a movie, I can make a movie. And I think we've had more buy-in and more like intrinsic motivation from the kids.
Students learn in different ways, and so when you understand how you learn, then you know what techniques you need to do to master those skills. So when they're doing goal settings, they're able to understand like, okay, I should write a song. This is how I'm gonna remember this.
It go in the stomach. It go in the small intestine, large intestine. Yeah, I eat some food. I stay healthy. It go to the digestive system. You already know I'm ready.
And so the individualized approach has really helped us to use our data to really target students and where they are, to know them as individuals, to know their individual strengths and weaknesses, and target those as we provide instruction for them.
We actually were noted to be one of the top performing schools in terms of growth. Across the district, we saw quite a bit of growth on our MAP scores. That was around the time we were starting the personalized learning work. And our students continue to grow. We're being more strategic about how we can move them along. This is a great year of growth for our scholars, more than we've seen in some years past.
One of the things that I've seen that I love is the accountability that they have for their own learning. I think through personalized learning, they are able to feel as though they have more control over what they're doing and also feel like they, have a part in what they're learning.
They telling me what to do now versus me telling them what to do.
It could look different, and it should look different for every single student so that everybody has an equal opportunity to be successful.
I'm old school, so it was a challenge at first for me to shift to this, but I'm loving it now.
I was a little apprehensive, kind of voluntold initially that we were going to be doing personalized learning. But when I got to the professional development with Ed Elements, and we really got to work with them, we really saw the clear look-fors, the clear definitions of what personalized learning is, so you don't have to guess about it. And for me, that helps a whole lot.
Especially if I'm working one-on-one with them, they feel a connection with me, and I can feel them opening up and being more receptive to the learning.
How does the student learn best, and how do they produce their learning goals, and how do they come to you and say, this is how I would like to show you what I've learned? I feel like those components make up individualized learning. And so partnering with Ed Elements has really given us the ability to incorporate all of those different things to really individualize learning for students.
So when I think about personalized learning for our Atlanta Public School teachers, I think about the opportunity to educate, inform, and empower them with tools and resources that allow for them to facilitate learning in such a way that they have the opportunity to do more and to impact learning at a much more accelerated and intentional way for themselves as well as for children.
Yeah, well, I feel like personalized learning helps me connect with others in my classroom. It helps me get others to understand if they don't get it. It helps me get into what they know and what they're learning.
What excites me the most about personalized learning is just the different options that are available to students. I've been able to step into a classroom and see the teacher go from more of a lecturer to a facilitator, and being able to see students actually take ownership in their learning, and that's been very exciting.
If we're sitting down and the teacher is up teaching, some people might not grasp on, but if we break off into groups, some people in that group can actually help you understand, so we all can be on the same page.
We letting them take over, their learning experience. That's the most exciting. They're eager
They're excited to learn. They don't consider school boring. When I was tasked to implement personalized learning in the district, we did a lot of research. We looked at a lot of companies and we had a lot of conversations. Our partner education elements really matched what we were trying to do.
We are so excited that we had these 14 schools. They really stepped out and trusted us to empower them with these amazing resources through personalized learning.
So I'm really excited about the other 3 tenets of personalized learning that we will slowly roll out during next school year. I think it only adds to our tool belt. It should be the way that we teach.
In Atlanta Public Schools, what we're also intentionally trying to do is create that element of it will expand itself, because an authentic experience of success for a teacher and student is one that is shared and then replicated and then scaled. If we can move all of the adults out of the way and toss the mic to a scholar, we'll be winning, because that's the APS way.
We have 29 schools who will join us for the next school year, and beyond that, we'll take on the other schools for the next 3 years. We're looking forward to increasing that type of experience for more students in APS.
For years, particularly the last 10 plus years for me, I've had an opportunity to travel to see what work looks like to scale. 2 to 3 years from now, we won't have to travel because they'll be coming to us, to Atlanta Public Schools, to be the exemplar, to talk with our scholars, to observe our teachers, to engage with parents, to learn more about perhaps something that none of us in this room can define today, but a scholar created it for us, or a scholar and his or her teacher did that. That's what it looks like. And then I think even more importantly, from the lens of equity, 2 to 3 years from now, this conversation around personalized learning is not tied to a cohort of schools and a galvanized group of teacher leaders, but that it is our norm. And then we're also trying to define 2 to 3 years from now, what's the next phase of expansion for not just our school system, but for the field of education at large.